welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video, we're going to be going over and talking about the Givenchy Prisme Libre pressed powder. So I saw this on a lot of will I buy it, new makeup release channels, and then I just never heard about a release date or anything else surrounding this product. I finally went into Sephora and just saw it there and decided to pick it up. I was really excited for this when I saw that Givenchy was taking their iconic loose powder and coming out with a pressed version of it. I don't typically like loose powders as much, so pressed powder was right up my alley. So if that all sounds good to you, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I do upload videos twice a week on Sundays and Thursdays. And with that, let's get started talking about the details of this powder. Going over some of the details on this powder. So I did purchase it for 53 euros. That's gonna come out to around $50 US. It does come in 6 shades with 9.5 grams of product. And I picked up the shade Mousseline Pastel, which is their iconic shade. It's the lightest shade. I was debating between 2 different shades, the number 1, which is the one I ended up going with, or the number 2, Satin Blanc. I'll post a picture of both of those so you can see the difference. It does say that the Mousseline Pastel is better for fair complexions and the Satin Blanc is better for light complexions. That's why I was just really debating between the two. Overall, I really wanted the one with the purple and the blue. I figured a lot of the times my foundation's a little bit darker. I tend to go a little bit darker on my foundation. So if anything, it'll tone it down a little bit, bring it back to maybe more my neck color. Going over the product description on the Givenchy website. So this says, Givenchy Prisme Libre Pressed Powder is the new makeup essential for a shine-free, unified complexion anytime, anywhere. Offering 12-hour correction and 24-hour matte wear, this high-performance compact powder imparts breathable perfection that lasts. So it does really talk about their blurring and mattifying properties as well as illuminating. They call this a luminous matte finish. And I mean, I think that that's a little bit iffy. I would agree with the fact that it does blur. The description goes on to say, absorbing excess sebum and controlling shine, the complexion is mattified without ever looking dull or pasty. So I think that when they talk about a luminous matte finish, they just mean a matte that's not going to look dull. So that's how I'm going to take this. It does also say non-comedogenic, invisible look, second skin finish, infused with silk protein and vitamin E, non-cakey effect, hydration for 24 hours. They're really going on and on trying to sell you this on their description here. The rest of this just goes on to talk more about their luminous matte finish. So as far as their results, it says women who tested Prisme Libre pressed powder saw imperfections blurred and skin texture smooth, said their makeup was fixed for the whole day, found the compact powder left the skin comfortable and gave a second skin finish, and experienced maximized foundation hold. I'm really excited to give this powder a shot. I've been looking forward to this for quite some time now. I'm going to zoom you in. We're gonna apply this powder together, and then I will be talking about my final thoughts right after that. I am really excited to try this. So I have most of my makeup on. I have foundation. The only powder I have on is to set my concealer under my eyes. I use my By Terry powder. Anything that I'm wearing on my face, I always link in the description box below. But let's set this foundation. I'm so excited. Here is what the compact looks like. And then when you open it up, it's kind of hard to open. So it has like the spot here for the brush, and the brush is like really secured in there. It was actually kind of tough to take out. And then you lift it up and you have the powder here. So I wasn't quite sure what powder to get. I was going to get the one up from this one, but this was like the classic iconic shade. So I just decided to go with that. I feel like it'll be okay. It might lighten my foundation a little bit, but we're gonna just see what happens. I am going to use the brush that it comes with on half my face, and then I'm gonna use my favorite powder brush. This is the Sonia G brush with the cranes on it. It came in like a set of 2. This is my favorite powder brush to really just buff in And let's get started. So I'm gonna use the brush that it came in. I'm gonna do that on this side of my face here. So I'm gonna kind of just sweep it back and forth. And then I don't really like this flip thing. It's like hard to get to the mirror. Okay. Let's just sweep this. It smells really nice. Apply a little bit more to my forehead here. Gently sweep it. I know scented products aren't the best for you, but I do like how this smells. It smells really nice. So here is one side of my face done. You can see it did lighten my foundation just a little bit, but it's a lot more mattifying. It looks like it has a slight filter on my face. I'm liking how this looks. Here's more close up just to see how glowy this side is, a little bit darker, then a little bit lighter. And like my face is still a little bit tacky. I'm wearing a more tacky foundation, but it's less tacky. So it did set it down a little bit. Let's go in with this brush. I'm gonna see how much this builds because it did say it had a sheer to medium coverage, which kind of made me nervous. I really was expecting this to almost be like an hourglass finishing powder where it doesn't give too much coverage. So when it said medium, I was a little bit surprised. And if it does do medium, that's gonna be with this brush. So that's kind of why I wanted to test both out. It's a lot more quicker to apply with this brush just because it's so much bigger. But now here's what both sides are looking like. I don't really see too much of a difference looking up close. You can see that this is looking a little bit more heavy, a little bit more powdery compared to this side. So right now, this is just everything that I was hoping it would be in a powder. I'm going to go off camera, finish up my makeup, bronzer, blush, highlight, put my glasses on, kind of take a closer look at things, gather my thoughts, and I will be right back to talk about my first impressions. Rest of my makeup is on, so let's talk a little bit about this powder. Once I put on my bronzer, blush, and highlight, I did just take this again and just lightly sweep over it. Since it's more of a finishing powder, I know it's kind of supposed to be your last step. I just don't like applying a lot of powder, so if I'm gonna use a powder, it's going to be after foundation. And then if it's meant to kind of give like that blurring filtered effect, I'll put it on again on top of my products. So that's what I did. And I think this looks fantastic. It does claim to have a luminous matte finish. And you know, I don't know if I would agree with that. I am wearing a lot of glowy products. I have a glowy blush, a glowy highlight, but even still like on my chin here, you can see the lights reflecting. So I see more luminous than I see more matte. I do quickly want to go over packaging. While this is really cute and sleek, and I love that Givenchy puts a lot of thought into their packaging. I talked about this in their loose blush. They really put a lot of thought into making sure that that blush didn't just fly everywhere. This packaging is just a little bit hard to open, and then it's hard to get the brush out. I don't have like any problems with like my fingers. I don't have arthritis or anything like that, but I could see if you do have like stiffness in your fingers, I could see that being a problem, which is why I mostly wanted to point it out. Maybe as I begin to use it more, it'll kind of loosen up, but like this flip thing, it doesn't stay up or down. So if you want to use the mirror, it's hard because it stays up if you're trying to get to the product. Overall, I do think the packaging was a little bit of a miss. However, I do really appreciate the inclusion of this brush. I think that it works really well. Usually the makeup brushes that come with products, especially luxury ones, are just a waste, and you put them aside, toss them, lose them, whatever happens to them. But I do think that this brush works very well to complement the powder. Overall, despite the packaging, I am really happy that I purchased this. I don't have too many of these just types of powders. I do like this finish a lot more than the Hourglass finishing powders. I know that those are very popular. They've just never really been my favorite. I like this finish so much more. It is very heavily scented, so if you are sensitive to scents, I would stay away from it. But if you like scents, if you like that luxury feeling, I really enjoy this scent over other luxury products. Givenchy has really nice scented products. Just I know fragrance isn't the best to be putting on your face. I'm enjoying how my makeup looks today. At the end of the day, that's really all that I'm looking for. And I think that this product enhanced my look. I don't think it took away from it. Nice product. If you don't have this yet, I don't know if I would pay full price for it, but the Sephora VIB sale's coming up. I would consider adding this to your cart. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I haven't tried the loose powder, so I cannot compare the two, but I'm really happy with this purchase. I'm glad that I picked it up and finally found it in store since we really didn't see a lot of information about it. And that's all I have to say about this product. I hope that this review was helpful for you. Leave me a comment down below if you have already picked this up or if you plan on picking it up and what your thoughts are. But with that, I'm going to leave you and I will see you all in my next video. Bye everyone.